Hey, it's Random, and I haven't uploaded in just over a week now, and to be honest, I was just being lazy, but I'm back now, and today I'm talking about getting the Nuclear Killer title in Black Ops 2. Now, first off, I'll just talk about the gameplay quickly. So this is a Nuclear Killer streak. I actually go on a 39 gun streak in this match, and I'm playing a bit of Domination Meltdown, and I'm using the MP7, which is probably one of my favourite SMGs at the minute, if not my favourite, since a couple of them got recently patched to be weaker. So the class that I'm running in this match is Hardline, Lightweight, Toughness Scavenger, Tap Mask. I'm using Lethal C4, and on the MP7 I only have one attachment, which is Extended Clips. So you could slightly tweak this class if you like, because you don't really need Lightweight on an SMG because you move quick enough. But I just like to move as quick as possible, so you can slightly tweak it if you like, but it does work as it does for me in this match. So today I'm talking about getting the Nuclear Killer title in Black Ops 2, as I said. And if you didn't know, if you go into your challenges, I think it's on assignments and then go into Killer, there's all these challenges to get and to unlock the Master Killer title. And I think there's about 4 or 5 hidden ones, and one of them's a Nuclear Killer title. So you have to go on a 30 gun streak with no score streak kills. You can only get kills with your gun, your knife, equipment, and if you blow up a car, then that will obviously count as well. So no score streak kills count towards this score streak, and it's one of the hardest challenges, if not the hardest, to get in this list. So I just thought I'd give you some tips on how to get it, because everybody's been asking. So the first tip that I'm going to give you is all about having a teammate with you. So it's always a lot easier to get a nuclear with a teammate. Now, I've had a couple without teammates, but when you play with just 1 or 2 mates, it makes it a lot easier, especially if they can run UAVs and VSATs, because it'll make your life easier, so you don't have to earn them all so quickly, just to have constant radar. And it really does help. I'm not saying have a stacked team of 6, because I find it's kind of cheating in a way. And to be honest, if you have 6 players, you tend to all share the kills, and to get 30 kills shared each between you is kind of a hard thing to do, because people just generally quit when there's 6 players in a match on the other team who are all mates. So it's definitely best to have 1 or 2 teammates who can run UAV and VSAT, and get them not like all the time, but just get them frequently enough, just so it makes it a bit easier for you. And also, the game type is really key for getting nuclear. Now, personally, I find Hardpoint and Domination are the best, and the hardest is got to be for me TDM or Kill Confirmed. Now, the main reason for this is I usually find it's a lot easier to play a game type where there's an objective on the map that you can actually see, because people will run around like towards that point and hover around it, and just be generally around the area, so you know where the majority of the enemies are going to be. And there might be a couple of campers, but we were unrelated to the game, but generally everybody will be around the objective. So I find these kind of game types easier than Kill Confirmed, because in Kill Confirmed there could be battles anywhere on the map, and you could come across a team of 6 players who are all camping in corners, and you don't really know how to play against them, because they're just all doing retarded stuff, and it works. So the game type is definitely key, and personally I prefer Domination and Hardpoint myself. But if there's any objective-based game type where there's a point on the map you have to run to, it'll definitely make it easier for your nuclear. And also, you have to avoid certain maps, because I usually avoid maps like Aftermath and Turbine, because they're too big, and if you have your VSAT up, it's going to run out before you get enough kills for your UAV, usually. Obviously there might be odd occasions where it doesn't happen like that, but generally, because the maps are so big, people spawn so far away. So I definitely recommend avoiding the big maps, unless you like them, obviously. But generally I never play Aftermath or Turbine unless I'm forced to. And also, I've got to say about playing the objective as well. Now, I've watched a couple of videos about people doing these kind of tips, and they always say camping helps. But to be honest, playing the objective is the only way I found of getting a nuclear. If you don't go near the objective, then you're not going to get a nuclear, because it's so hard to get it with just gun kills. You need a couple of points captured just to get you closer to the VSAT, and I'm not saying sit in the point. So for example on hardpoint, the area you sit in is quite large, so people know you're in there, and you just have to sit there and wait, and you're generally going to die in that scenario. So I'm not saying sit in the point and play the objective, but I'm saying get into a winning lead, because there's never, I think I've only ever had one nuclear where I've been on the losing team. So definitely get into a lead and then just hover around the objective and wait for the enemies to come towards you, because they will come towards you because they're losing. And that's just the best way to play, because if you go into the point all the time, then you're going to die. But if you hover around the point in a winning position, because they'll have to rush at it to win, and everybody always wants to win, so they'll always be running at the point, and that's just the best way to pick them off, because they'll be caught off guard trying to capture the point, and you can just keep picking them off and getting your kills, and that's generally the best way to do it. And also the score streak setup is key as well. Now for me, UAV, VSAT, EMP is what I'm using in this match, and it is by far the best setup you can use for getting nuclears. Since I've put it on, it has really made it a lot easier to get nuclears. Obviously I still need a couple of UAVs from teammates sometimes, just to make it a bit easier. But if you've got UAV and VSAT, it really enhances your radar. And also the EMP just takes the enemy out of the game. It makes it a lot harder for them to get kills because they can't use their radar at all. And also quickly, I'd just like to say, using equipment really does help. And I'd say on average I get about 3 to 5 kills on my nuclear streaks with equipment. And I'd say the best one to use is Betties. If you can avoid killing yourself with them, which I tend to do a lot, then you can just throw them anywhere and they will generally get you 3 or 5 kills towards your nuclear streak, and it just makes it that bit easier to get your nuclear. But anyway guys, I'm going to leave it here, and I'm also going to be doing some classes as well, just to help you if you're struggling to get the right classes. I'm also going to show you my favourite classes that I'm using at the minute, and I've used overall since this game's come out. So anyway guys, I'm going to leave it here, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.